Have you ever pulled a fresh, warm shirt out of your dryer, buried your face in it, and wondered why your skin started itching 10 minutes later? Or maybe you've spent months switching between different baby washes, trying to figure out why your toddler has a persistent, angry red rash that just won't clear up, never once suspecting that the culprit is actually the pristine white onesie they're wearing. We have been fundamentally conditioned to believe that a heavy, chemical floral blast of fragrance equals cleanliness, and that if a shirt doesn't smell like a tropical rainforest for 3 weeks in your closet, it isn't truly clean. But what if I told you that the very products you trust to clean the clothes touching your body 24 hours a day are actually coating them in a layer of synthetic plastics, hidden toxins, and skin irritants? What if the stuff your mom used, the stuff marketed as gentle enough for a newborn, is actually a chemical cocktail that independent consumer groups are desperately trying to warn you about? In this video, we are going to completely tear down the illusion created by the multi-billion-dollar laundry industry. You will find out exactly how major corporations manipulate safety loopholes to hide dozens of undisclosed ingredients under a single word on the label. I'll show you the disturbing laboratory data and real consumer lawsuits that expose what these liquids and pods are doing to your skin and your washing machine. We'll break down the top 11 most popular laundry detergents sold in American supermarkets that you need to purge from your laundry room immediately. And yes, we are going to name specific massive household brands you see every time you walk down the aisle at Walmart, Target, or Costco. But stick around, because the absolute most shocking, deceptive greenwashing scam on this entire list is sitting at the #1 spot. And it comes from a company you would never expect to be hiding in your grocery cart. Once we've exposed the garbage, I'll hand you a definitive, concrete list of what you should actually buy instead. Options that are safer, cheaper per load, and genuinely clean. By the time we're done, you're going to know more than 90% of shoppers, and you will never look at a plastic jug of detergent the same way again. Before we name names, we need to build an educational foundation. Because to understand how badly we're being ripped off, you have to understand how modern laundry detergent is actually built. Real, genuine cleanliness has almost no smell at all. When fabric is truly clean, it just smells like fabric. Yet, the industry has spent decades pulling off a massive psychological trick. They replaced actual dirt removal with optical and sensory illusions. Think of your current detergent like a cheap, used car salesman who paints over a rusted engine block to make it look shiny. Instead of completely rinsing away organic matter, mainstream detergents are engineered to leave things behind. They use a complex cocktail of synthetic surfactants derived from petrochemicals, liquid polymers, artificial fragrances, and optical brighteners. These optical brighteners are fluorescent chemical compounds that stay bonded to the fabric fibers after the rinse cycle. They don't make your clothes cleaner. They literally absorb ultraviolet light and re-emit it as a blue-white glow. It's a visual magic trick designed to make your whites look whiter by covering them in a chemical film that never washes out. This film sits directly against your skin, absorbing into your pores with every movement, every sweat, and every embrace. To make matters worse, the industry relies heavily on a loophole regarding fragrance formulations. Under federal regulations, a company can list a blend of hundreds of distinct synthetic chemicals under the solitary word fragrance or parfum on the ingredient list, treating it as a protected trade secret. This means a bottle can contain phthalates, synthetic musks, and volatile organic compounds that trigger asthma, yet you, the consumer, are legally kept in the dark. It's like a restaurant serving you a meal, but refusing to tell you if there's peanut oil in the kitchen, because the recipe is a secret. Then come the preservatives, specifically a class of chemicals meant to keep these liquid formulas from growing mold on supermarket shelves. Substances like methylisothiazolinone have become so ubiquitous that dermatologists have publicly sounded the alarm, linking them to an unprecedented surge in severe contact dermatitis and allergic reactions. The industry knows this, but changing a formula costs money, and marketing a lie is incredibly cheap. The mega corporations dominating our store shelves have built empires on our blind trust, scoring abysmally low on independent ethics and environmental ratings, while continuing to sell us illusions wrapped in bright, friendly packaging. Let's dive straight into the Hall of Shame, starting with a brand that markets itself as a classic piece of Americana, Purex. Owned by Henkel, Purex has positioned itself for decades as the smart, budget-friendly alternative for hardworking families shopping at Walmart or Kroger. It carries this nostalgic, no-nonsense image, but what you're actually paying for is a heavily stripped-down, chemically harsh formula. Independent consumer testing has repeatedly flagged Purex for containing high concentrations of cheap synthetic surfactants and undisclosed artificial fragrances that do not rinse cleanly out of fabric fibers. For the consumer, this manifests as a distinct stiffness in your towels and jeans, accompanied by an aggressive chemical floral scent that lingers long after drying. It costs pennies per load, but that cheap price is a complete scam when you realize it forces your clothes to wear out twice as fast. Dr. Arlene Thompson, a prominent clinical dermatologist, noted that patients using value-tier detergents often present with generalized body itching because the leftover residue acts like micro sandpaper against the skin barrier. Purex is essentially a chemical sandpaper wrapped in a budget-friendly bottle. Moving up the ladder of corporate deception brings us to All Free Clear. Now, this one hurts because millions of Americans buy it specifically because they or their children suffer from eczema. It is widely recommended by some doctors, but when you look past the pristine white bottle and the hypoallergenic labeling, the reality is deeply disappointing. While it removes dyes and some obvious perfumes, consumer safety databases show that the formula still relies heavily on harsh synthetic preservatives and petroleum-derived stabilizers to keep the liquid shelf stable. If you feel like checking your own laundry shelf right now, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because the betrayal only gets deeper from here. Consumers with severe skin sensitivities frequently report that All Free Clear still triggers stubborn, unexplained flare-ups. The price is marked up significantly compared to standard detergents, meaning you are paying a premium for a safety promise that the raw ingredient list simply fails to deliver. It is a marketing masterpiece that swaps out one set of irritants for another while charging you extra for the privilege of being deceived. Next up is Gain, the undisputed king of olfactory assault, owned by the consumer goods titan Procter & Gamble. Gain isn't just a detergent, it's a lifestyle brand built entirely on the psychological addiction to intense scent. They sell the idea of long-lasting freshness through commercials featuring people practically huffing their laundry in slow motion. But that signature Gain aroma is an absolute nightmare for your respiratory system and your health. To make a scent stick to fabric through a washing cycle, a hot dryer cycle, and 2 weeks in a dresser drawer, you have to use heavy chemical fixatives like phthalates and synthetic musks. These chemicals are engineered to bond aggressively to the fabric and resist being rinsed away. When you wear Gain-washed clothes, you are literally walking around inside a volatile organic compound cloud, absorbing these hidden fragrance chemicals through your skin and breathing them into your lungs all day long. Consumer reports are filled with accounts of people experiencing sudden, unexplainable headaches, nausea, and sinus congestion just from sitting in a room with a fresh load of Gain laundry. It rewires your brain to think heavy perfume means clean, when in reality, It's just a toxic camouflage masking a cheap, aggressive cleaning formula. Then we have Arm& Hammer Clean Burst, a product that rides heavily on the coattails of the trusted baking soda brand owned by Church and Dwight. People see that iconic orange logo and assume they are getting a natural, gentle, old-school clean. That is exactly what the marketing team wants you to believe. In reality, the actual baking soda content in this liquid detergent is minimal, functioning primarily as a marketing gimmick. The bulk of the bottle is filled with aggressive anionic surfactants and optical brighteners that coat your clothing to give the illusion of brighter whites. Consumer testing has shown that Arm& Hammer's aggressive chemical profile causes rapid color fading and accelerated fabric degradation, meaning your favorite clothes look old and dingy after just a few months of washing. It's priced competitively, but the real cost comes when you have to constantly replace your wardrobe because the fibers are being eaten away by industrial strength chemicals. It's a classic bait and switch, using a wholesome natural heritage image to peddle an aggressive petrochemical cocktail. Let's talk about fabric softeners, specifically Downy, another Procter & Gamble cash cow. Downy has been making American blankets soft since the 1960s, using imagery of cute little babies and soft teddy bears. But here is the dirty truth the industry hides. Fabric softeners do not clean anything, and they are completely unnecessary. Downy works by coating your clothes in a slick layer of quaternary ammonium compounds, or quats. These compounds are lipid-based chemical agents that coat the fabric fibers, forcing them to lay flat so they feel soft to the touch. This waxy chemical coating ruins the absorbency of your bath towels, turning them into water-repelling rags that just push moisture around your skin. Worse, these quats are documented respiratory irritants that can trigger severe asthma attacks, and they hold the waxy fragrance chemicals directly against your body. Downy is essentially a cosmetic lacquer for your laundry that ruins your fabrics, clogs your pores, and pollutes your home's indoor air quality. If you thought liquid Downy was bad, Downy Unstoppable's scent beads are an entirely new level of corporate greed. These little plasticized pellets are marketed as a premium add-on to give your laundry 12 weeks of freshness. Think about the sheer volume of synthetic engineering required to make a perfume survive 12 weeks. These beads are loaded with highly concentrated, undisclosed fragrance chemicals and synthetic polymers that do not fully dissolve in cold water. Appliance repair technicians across America report that scent beads are a leading cause of washing machine failure. The undissolved waxy residue builds up inside the drain pipes, coats the outer drum seals, and creates a slimy breeding ground for black mold and foul odors inside your machine. You are paying a massive premium out of your own pocket to actively destroy your expensive appliances, all to suffocate your clothes in a chemical perfume that independent labs have flagged as highly toxic to aquatic life when it flushes down the drain. Now we enter the realm of premium deception with Method, the darling of trendy Target shoppers. Method built its entire brand empire on sleek, colorful bottles, modern typography, and a loud promise of being naturally derived and non-toxic. It is the ultimate eco-luxury illusion. However, court documents from a massive class action lawsuit pulled back the curtain, revealing that despite plastering non-toxic across their labels, Method products contained methylisothiazolinone, the exact same severe skin sensitizer responsible for an international epidemic of allergic reactions, chemical burns, and blistering. Method's parent company, SC Johnson, paid millions to settle the consumer fraud claims. Here is the ultimate kicker, SC Johnson also manufactures Raid Bug Spray, Windex, and Drano. They took a standard problematic chemical formulation, poured it into an artistic see-through pump bottle, slapped an eco-friendly story on the back, and charged you double the price. It is calculated greenwashing that preys on your desire to protect your family, selling you the exact same toxins wrapped in a prettier package. Finally, we hit the absolute heavyweight champion of American laundry, Tide, specifically Tide Pods. Tide is the undisputed gold standard of the industry, commanding the highest prices and the ultimate consumer loyalty. Procter & Gamble has spent billions, it says, ensuring that every American household associates that orange jug with maximum cleaning power. But behind that power lies the most chemically aggressive, concentrated formula on the market. Tide Pods pack synthetic surfactants, liquid plastics, optical brighteners, and harsh chemical preservatives into a single water-soluble membrane made of polyvinyl alcohol. While the industry claims this plastic membrane dissolves completely, environmental studies show that over 8,000 tons of polyvinyl alcohol from laundry pods escape wastewater treatment facilities every year, entering our lakes and rivers as liquid microplastics. Furthermore, because pods are pre-measured, they force you to overdose your laundry. Most average loads require a fraction of the chemical power packed into a single pod, meaning you are constantly leaving concentrated chemical residues on your clothes. Consumer protection agencies have documented horrifying cases of chemical burns where consumers wore clothing washed with concentrated pods, resulting in skin that looked completely scalded, leaving painful rashes that took months to heal. Tide Pods represent the pinnacle of corporate convenience culture, a highly profitable, environmentally destructive plastic capsule that prioritizes corporate margins over the physical health of your family and the planet. And now, what it was worth watching all the way through for. We have waded through the corporate slime, the false promises, and the toxic chemical cocktails sitting on our supermarket shelves. So let's talk about the real solutions. The transition from realizing you've been systematically lied to finding products that actually respect your health and your wallet is the ultimate reward for doing your homework. You do not have to compromise on cleanliness to protect your family's skin, your appliances, and the environment. There are genuine, rock-solid options available right now in American stores that cut through the marketing garbage and deliver real, non-toxic performance. We start with the most accessible, budget-friendly champion of real cleanliness, 7th generation free and clear. You can walk into almost any mainstream grocery store like Target, Kroger, or Walmart right now and find this on the shelf. 7th generation has been running their operation with a philosophy of transparency transparency long before it became a trendy marketing buzzword. Their free and clear liquid detergent is 97% plant-based and carries a USDA certified bio-based product designation. What that means in plain English is that instead of relying on petroleum-derived synthetic surfactants that cling to fabric fibers, they use cleaning agents derived from coconut and palm kernel oil that actually break down organic dirt and rinse completely out of your clothes. When you wash your clothes with this, there is no stiff, waxy chemical residue left behind and no overpowering artificial perfume cloud waiting to trigger a migraine or an asthma attack. It just feels like soft, unadulterated fabric against your skin. From an economic standpoint, a standard bottle costs around $14 to $16 and delivers up to 90 loads, wrapping up to an incredibly reasonable 15 to 17 cents per wash. This makes it actively cheaper per load than premium toxic options like Tide Pods, while being independently verified as safe for sensitive skin by the EPA's Safer Choice program. The only real downside is that because it lacks aggressive optical brighteners, it won't give your clothes that fake fluorescent UV light glow, meaning your old dingy whites will actually look like their true color until you use a natural oxygen booster. Next up is Molly's Sood's Laundry Detergent Powder, a phenomenal choice that is widely available on Amazon at Whole Foods. and at local natural health markets across the country. This brand was born out of a deeply personal tragedy when its founder, a pediatric nurse, investigated the environmental toxins that contribute to stillbirths and discovered how unregulated the laundry industry truly is. Molly's Suds is a minimalist masterpiece formulated with just 5 safe earth-derived ingredients: sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, magnesium sulfate, unrefined sea salt, and organic peppermint oil if you choose a scented version. There are absolutely no petrochemicals, no sodium lauryl sulfate, no chemical preservatives like methyl isothiazolinone, and zero synthetic polymers. In practice, this powder changes everything about how you experience laundry. Because it doesn't contain liquid plastics or waxy binders, it dissolves cleanly in water and pulls stains out of cotton and synthetic fibers without leaving a filmy layer. It prevents that stale, sour mildew smell that frequently builds up in high-efficiency washing machines when liquid detergents settle in the rubber gaskets. It is highly concentrated, requiring just 1 small tablespoon per load, which translates to a cost of about 20 cents per wash. The only minor drawback is that in extremely cold water cycles, you might need to dissolve the powder in a cup of warm water first to ensure it fully activates. But that extra 10 seconds completely saves your clothes and your skin from toxic exposure. If you want a subscription or online delivery model that strips away the massive plastic jugs entirely. Drops sensitive skin laundry detergent pods are the gold standard for American households. Drops reinvented the pod category by stripping out the toxic concentrated chemical cocktails and replacing them with a completely biodegradable plant-based formula. They are fully transparent about their ingredient deck, utilizing plant-derived surfactants and natural enzymes to break down proteins and fats. Unlike major brand pods that leave a sticky, half-dissolved plastic film on your clothes when washed in cold water, Drops membranes are engineered to dissolve completely and cleanly without contributing to the thousands of tons of liquid microplastics entering our municipal waterways every year. Your clothes come out smelling like absolutely nothing, which is the ultimate badge of honor for a truly clean wash. Drops are incredibly convenient, lightweight, and come shipped in low-waste, recyclable cardboard packaging. They average about 22 to 26 cents per load, depending on your subscription tier, which is a minor premium over bulk discount powders, but a price entirely justified by the elimination of plastic waste and toxic skin irritants. Finally, for the absolute premium tier of conscious consumerism, we have Zum Clean Laundry Soap by Indigo Wild, available at Whole Foods, specialized boutiques, and natural food cooperatives. This isn't even a detergent. It is a true soap built on a foundation of saponified coconut oil, baking soda, and pure essential oils. It completely avoids the entire catalog of industrial chemical processing. When you use Zum Clean, your clothes are washed in a gentle, natural surfactant that lifts dirt while naturally softening the fabric fibers without a single drop of quaternary ammonium compounds. The sensory experience is unmatched. It uses real essential oils like lavender or frankincense and myrrh, which provide a beautiful, authentic aroma during the wash cycle but dissipate naturally, leaving just a faint, clean trace rather than a permanent chemical cloud. It is expensive, often running around $18 to $20 for a 32-ounce bottle, costing roughly 32 cents per load. This is a luxury item for families who prioritize absolute purity, zero synthetic interventions, and an authentic aromatic experience, making it the perfect choice for delicate clothing, bedding, and baby garments where cost is secondary to absolute safety. Now that you know exactly which brands to toss in the trash and which ones to actually trust, let's arm you with 5 ironclad rules for reading labels in the store so you never get tricked by slick marketing again. Rule number 1. When you are walking down the aisle at Target or Kroger, Turn the bottle around and scan for the words fragrance, perfume, or parfum. And if they appear without an explicit note stating they are derived from 100% pure essential oils, put the bottle right back on the shelf. Rule number 2, ignore any product that boasts about long-lasting freshness or 12-week scent retention, because that phrase is corporate code for phthalates and synthetic chemical fixatives that are engineered to permanently bond to your clothing and absorb through your skin. Rule number 3, look for independent third-party certifications on the bottle, specifically the EPA Safer Choice label, USDA certified bio-based product stamps, or an EWG verified rating, rather than blindly trusting unregulated buzzwords like natural, green, or plant-derived. Rule number 4, completely eliminate traditional liquid fabric softeners and dryer sheets from your shopping list altogether, and instead buy a gallon of plain white distilled vinegar at Aldi or Walmart for $3. Pouring a quarter cup into your machine's softener drawer to naturally neutralize static, eliminate mineral buildup, and soften your fabric safely without leaving a toxic, waxy film. Rule number 5, whenever possible, switch back to traditional powder formulas or minimalist concentrates, because liquid detergents are up to 90% water, requiring massive amounts of synthetic stabilizers and harsh chemical preservatives just to keep them shelf-stable in the plastic jugs. To wrap this whole investigation up, we need to take a step back and realize that the entire modern laundry industry is built on a grand illusion. You do not need a colorful, multi-layered plastic pod, an aggressive cocktail of petrochemical surfactants, or a heavy blast of artificial perfume to achieve clean clothes. The corporations dominating our supermarket shelves have spent billions of dollars over the last 50 years systematically training us to equate an intense chemical aroma with hygiene, when true cleanliness actually has no smell at all. By shifting your thinking away from these toxic sensory illusions and choosing transparent, plant-based, and earth-derived alternatives, you immediately stop being a passive victim of predatory corporate marketing and take total control over the health of your home, your skin, and your wallet. Thank you so much for sticking around and doing the hard work to uncover the truth about what we're putting on our bodies every single day. If you found this investigation valuable, please hit that like button and share this video with a friend or family member, especially that one person you know who is constantly dealing with unexplained skin rashes, allergies, or asthma and still buys the massive orange jugs of Tide or Gain out of pure habit. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Go check your laundry room right now and tell me exactly which of these 11 toxic brands is sitting on your shelf. And let me know what consumer product or grocery item we should aggressively investigate and expose next. Until next time, stop buying the illusions, read those ingredient labels carefully, and protect your skin.